The following is a production of Stevenson Media.
And what is going on, everyone? And welcome to another fantastic episode of the Twin Toros podcast, brought to you by ESPN 97.5. I am one part of your show, Ruben Calvillo, my co-host, the self-proclaimed president of Houston Sports, coming off of a birthday, the OG, Nick Stevenson.
What's going on, baby? Like the birthday present? The wife hooked it up?
It looks good. I like that.
Pretty smooth. Got the patch on the arm. I like it. Oh, man, I'm feeling good, man. I know this show's coming out a little bit late, man, but it didn't make sense to me to not wait for the schedule to come out, because then we'd have been a whole week behind the cycle if
Yeah,
we'd
we
have
would have
done
been
our
about
show.
4 days behind.
We'd have been way behind, so it just made more sense to wait for the schedule to come out. So I'm excited to talk about it, man.
No, I am excited to talk about this also. One thing that we could first start was your thoughts on the season schedule release video, because this has now become a thing every year where teams try to do the best they can to put out a funny video out there to not only get the fans excited but to kind of throw some shots at other teams. The Texans, though, they had a lot of social media content creators and former Houston legends, actors as well, kind of show off this season schedule. Your thoughts on it?
Bro, you're gonna be mad at me. I didn't see any of it.
Yesterday, I don't think you missed a lot. I wasn't that big of a fan of it. You want to watch it?
No, so yesterday I knew the schedule was coming out, and I was trying to ignore social media so I wouldn't see any leaks or anything like that.
What? You care about the leaks?
No, man. I mean, it turns out some of the leaks I did see, most of them were right. So what's the point of waiting until 7:00 and building up all that hype if you're just gonna leak it all out in the morning anyway?
Well, I don't think it was the team, who got it
Of course
leaked.
not.
But those two Twitter accounts, man, they got it 100% correct.
Yeah,
And
somebody's on the inside. I know this much.
as a
And
content creator, I love it.
yeah,
Because I'm able to kind of build my video throughout the day around these leaks. And of course, I know the teams don't like it, but the video, it was okay. It was only like a minute something long. When you see how the Chargers do theirs, it's so crazy. But
I'll probably go look after the fact.
yeah, it was all right. It was all right. So without further ado, let's start off with the 2025 season schedule for the Houston Texans. We got week 1 at LA against the Rams, 3:25. We got the student versus the teacher, Sean McVay versus Nick Caley. Your thoughts on week 1?
Yeah, man, that's the first thing that jumped out to me is Nick Caley's going to get put to the test immediately because obviously the Rams know, or at least have an idea. Obviously, he's never been an offensive coordinator, right? But at least they have an idea of probably what some of those tendencies are going to be. Also, I think the fact that he hasn't been a coordinator before, though, that does give the Texans a little bit of an edge too, as far as like you can't go back and watch Bobby Slowick tape. Maybe you'll get a little bit in the preseason, but hopefully that will give them the edge starting out on the road, and we'll find out how good of a play caller Nick Caley is pretty early, though. So
yeah, we'll find out right out the bat.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'll just point out the Rams, playoff team from last year. So that's one of several that the Texans will be facing this season. So, and starting out on the road, so immediate test. I like it.
I like it. Here,
and it's an afternoon game, so obviously people are going to want to watch that. So,
absolutely.
In the league thought that they would want to watch that too.
Well, Nick, in week 2, it doesn't get easier, but it gets more exciting because the Houston Texans are at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, they come back to town. And this game, one of the Houston Texans' first of many primetime matchups, Monday Night Football,
Mm.
6 p.m. I am excited for this, man. It's in the H.
Yeah, man, that Liberty White looks real good under those primetime lights. Now, you talked about it a lot in the offseason on a lot of your videos about historically Texans performances on primetime. And I understand the trepidation when it comes to the Texans in primetime. But I feel like anytime you got an opportunity to be on the world stage and watch, get to hear different takes from, because they're gonna be talking about that game all day, right? Texans versus Bucks. You'll have it on the ESPN on the countdown, like so. You're gonna get an opportunity to showcase H Town. What you hope is that the team breaks from tradition and gives you a good performance on Monday Night Football. And hopefully they'll be coming off of a win in week 1, but we'll get into that another time. But anytime the Texans are in prime time, bro, I dig it. I know they've had their troubles, but put my team under the bright lights and showcase some of these awesome players that they've been able to acquire over the last couple of seasons, man. I want to see them.
Yeah, I want to see him. I just want to see him perform. Week 3, the Houston Texans are back on the road, going against the Jacksonville Jaguars at a place that they haven't lost at in a while. They get their first crack at Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter. Week 3, Steven, we get an AFC South matchup.
Yeah, I'm still not worried about the Jags, bro.
Yeah, me either.
It's probably because of their coach and that stupid ass Duval. I'm not scared, bro.
Shout out to Liam Cohen. Those boys look like they're excited to play for him, so we'll see how his offense
Yeah.
looks.
I hope
Uh,
the division's good this year, man. I want to be in a competitive division. Like the AFC South being trash does not make it fun. It just doesn't.
We got week 4. The Houston Texans are at home against the Tennessee Titans. This is the first chance we get our first hands on number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. I'm excited for this. The Houston Texans got to get their get back.
I will be on AFC South Warzone talking to Ish through that entire game.
Okay.
Because they're doing the same. They're doing Cam Ward the same way they did Will Levis last season. Y'all are in trouble.
You mean the same way they did with Malik Willis?
Yeah, all of it.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll be in there talking mega trash.
Then week 5, this is where it gets tough because the Houston Texans are going up against a team that has had their number as of late, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. This is a tough one, Nick. But the Houston Texans are at Baltimore week 5, right before the bye week.
I love it, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you go through the rest of the schedule before I give my commentary on it. So go ahead and read off the rest of the teams if you want, and then we'll talk about the matchups we're looking forward to, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, well, week 6 we got a bye week. I don't mind the bye week at all. Kind of towards the middle of the season, but would have liked it around week 7, week 8.
I think that's early, bro. You got 12 weeks straight. No bye
I
week.
mean, it's better than last year when you were limping into the bye week and and then the bye week didn't really do nothing, and you
Yeah,
came back and you placed 3 playoff teams. So I mean, I like this
I'll give
more
you
than
that.
I like it last year because you were beat the hell up limping into that. We were praying for the bye week to come. That's how bad it was because we
Yeah,
had not stopped playing football since the Hall of Fame game
yeah,
last season.
yeah.
So we
I
needed
feel
that.
you. I feel like they got done dirty both years, actually. I feel like a little bit too early this season and obviously too late last season. But, we'll see how it goes, man. Hopefully, we have some better luck with the
Yeah,
injury history this season.
yeah. Like I said, I would have liked it around week 8, week
Yep,
9, how
yep.
it normally has been history for the Texans, but week 6. Week 7, the Texans are on the road coming off the bye, heading to Seattle, going against Sam Darnold. Monday Night Football on ESPN Plus. And this game, oh my God, it's going to be at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Not 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
Hope you don't work
We are
on Tuesday.
we're going to be watching football at 1 o'clock in the morning, boys.
Yep.
Week 8 at home, H-Town Blue. We do it for D'Amico against the San Francisco 49ers. This is another storyline of teacher versus student.
Mm.
During this stretch, the Texans are at home for 3 straight games. So their second straight game at home against the Denver Broncos, Bo Nix, Sean Payton. This is going to be I think, a very interesting, low key, underrated, fun matchup for the Texans. And then to finish off their 3-game homestand, the Texans welcome in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter. The Texans need to get their get back from a couple of seasons ago. Then week 11, the Texans are on the road at Tennessee. They get their second shot at Cam Ward, this time at the Titan Stadium. You know they're going to be rocking that day, but I don't give a
Do
damn
you
about
think
that.
the Titans will wear the Oilers uniforms again?
No, you know they stopped wearing those, right?
I thought I heard something about that.
Yeah, so they stopped wearing them because their ass kept on getting embarrassed.
Thank goodness.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, for sure.
One game you got beat by old man Case Keenum. The other one you got beat by CJ Stroud. Just, when you try to be something you're not, right? You end up looking like a fool. So
Yeah.
that's exactly what Tennessee has been the last 2 years, an absolute joke of a franchise. Week 12, the Houston Texans, Thursday night football
Mhm.
against the Buffalo Bills, Battle Red. It's in Houston. 2 primetime games in Houston. I absolutely love that.
Yes.
Excited for that matchup. Then the Texans get kind of a mini bye week here because they don't play till November 30th. So 10 days later, they are on the road. They get their first crack against the Indianapolis Colts. The only question is it going to be Anthony Richardson? Is it going to be Daniel Jones? Week
Yeah.
14, the Houston Texans are on the road, Sunday night football, but it's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm,
And, this screams like a watch party just waiting to happen.
absolutely.
We gotta finally beat these guys, Nick. We gotta finally, get over the hump. Week 15, the Houston Texans are at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, Jonathan Gannon, Marvin Harrison Jr., they come into town. That's going to be a very fun matchup as well. Then the Texans, week 16, at home, December 21st, Las Vegas Raiders. But this game's at 3:25.
Hmm.
I like that.
I like it.
And
I like
then
it.
week 17, the Texans will be at LA against the Chargers, but the time is to be determined. So if both of these teams are in playoff contention, which we think they're going to be, then this might be flexed to a primetime game.
Yeah.
Week 18, it is at home. That time is also to be determined. So who knows, where the Colts are during this time. But at the bottom there, I get intrigued because it says Space City.
Hmm.
What is happening?
Hmm.
Week 18, Space
Interesting.
City. That is
I'm
your
not sure.
2025 season schedule.
I'll tell you what stood out to me, man, and I appreciate you running through it, um, so we can get into it. So, all but 2 no, all but 3 of the non-divisional games are against playoff opponents from last season. Uh, Cardinals, Raiders, and Seahawks did not make the playoffs. Everybody else that's a non-division team was in the playoffs last season. Do you think there's going to be a division rival that makes the playoffs this year?
It's gonna be real tough, but if I'm gonna say that, one of the 3 teams is gonna be competitive, I think it might be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not high on Tennessee. I'm not high on Indianapolis. I think there might be something there in Jacksonville, and they just got Travis Hunter. They had a good draft. They had a decent free agency. We'll see how it plays, but this is Houston's division to lose, man.
I agree with that. And the only reason I agree with you on the Jaguars is because I know that Trevor Lawrence has potential to be really good at times. And I just don't trust Anthony Richardson. I feel like the Colts overall are probably the better team. But you just don't know what you're going to get out of the quarterback position. It's when I saw that, because there's always at least 1 or 2 teams who made the playoffs the previous year who don't make it, and then there's always some new playoff teams. Um, it looks like if our division is not good again, I say the Texans should probably at least go what 4-2, 4-2 in the division, at least.
Which two losses do you think we get?
One from the Jags, one from the Colts. I could
One
see it.
from the Colts,
I could see
the
it.
team that we swept last year,
Yes, but the Colts
the
also got
team
you
that
the year
didn't have
before.
an off season, the team that doesn't even know who their quarterback's going to be.
You're always gonna lose at least one game you shouldn't lose, right? Like, that's just
But
that's just
that's
a
the
guess.
thing. That
That's
okay,
just a
you
guess.
bring up a fantastic point. If this team wants to get to places where they've never gone before,
Mhm,
that idea needs to be thrown out the damn window. If you want to get to places where you've never gone before,
mhm.
you got to beat the Chiefs. You got to beat the
Right.
Baltimore Ravens. You don't do that, we're we know what's gonna happen come playoff time because we've seen this story before.
Yeah.
This is I'm like this. You got to take advantage of that weak ass division, dude. I can't take another. Oh, you should have won this game because you should have won the game last year against the Tennessee Titans where you sacked Will Levis 8 times in the first half. You
Mhm.
should have won. You should have won 2 games the year before against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta and against the Carolina Panthers in
Close.
Carolina. Yeah, your defense gave both of those games away, and it's like those games there's only 17 games in the season, Nick. When
Right.
we really say every week freaking matters, it really freaking matters.
No, it does.
I I don't want to I don't want to go into my prediction thinking, but I am like, oh, there's always that one bullcrap loss that the Texans have every single year.
But I think
But
every
you
team
can't
gets that,
have
right?
that.
I think every team usually you lose a game you're not supposed to, and you win a game you're not supposed to.
Yeah, but this is a team that hasn't had any type of success in the postseason. So all we know right now is you can't beat the great teams during the regular season. You have that one game where you look back and say, "Man, if I should have won that game." I mean, dude, even our first playoff run, those
Mhm.
games against the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings, like
Yeah, for
the
sure.
Texans shoot themselves in the foot sometimes.
Yeah,
And if you want to be a Texans team that is feared, because like we've talked about, in my opinion, there's the Chiefs, there's the Bills, there's the Ravens, and then there's everyone else. The Texans are right there, man.
yeah.
Oh, I hate this.
So off the top of my head from what you're saying then, I'm assuming you feel like they should sweep the division then.
I mean, I'll give them one loss. It is hard to sweep a
Okay.
division, but two's tough.
So you'll give them 1 to
Two is
the
tough.
Jags? You give
Yes,
them 1 to the Jags? Okay.
they lost one last year to the Tennessee Titans. I believe they lost two the year before that, one to the Colts and
Okay.
one to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But you can't. You gotta take advantage of your division. Like you have two teams right now who don't have a future. Indianapolis and Tennessee. Well, Tennessee for right now until Cam Ward, if he is the guy, gets going.
Yeah. And Tennessee's defense is respectable. Like, let's be honest about that. I could see if Cam Ward is that guy,
Yeah,
I
that's
could
another
see.
thing we had to take into consideration. We've seen the last 2 years multiple early first round picks be immediate impactful players for their team.
Yeah, it's possible he could be a Jaden Daniels or a CJ Stroud type impact on the team, which I would embrace. Like I said, I want the division to be good. I want, um, I'm tired of just chalking up the division games as a, oh, that's a dub, or at least it should be a dub, and then being disappointed if the Texans do lose because you know that the division is trash.
Mhm.
If somebody in this division emerges as a legitimate, you know, good football team, then I won't be mad if the Texans get a loss. But like I said, I mean, at minimum, you should not lose more than 2 games in this division. Would you at
I'll,
least agree with that?
I'll give that to you. Two's pushing it. Two like
Yeah. But
two's
more
push,
than 2 is a problem.
more than two's a problem. If you lose some of these games where it was like last year, dude. As excited as I was about the season, there were just signs throughout the year where you were just like, man, it's just not us, right?
Yeah.
The offensive line showed you early that you weren't going to get anything done. And every week, I'm sorry, we were praying, make a change at OC, do a change at this, change at that. So
Yeah. No, Ruben, this is what we do as football fans, man. We live and die with every single week, and we overreact to the wins and we overreact to the losses, right? Like that's just we're fans. And if we beat the Kansas City Chiefs in what is that week? I
week
think
14.
week 14. Everybody's gonna be saying we're going straight to the Super Bowl, right? That's just how the NFL is, and that's one of the reasons the NFL is great. Like week to week, it's just an emotional roller coaster. For me, I'm gonna try my best not to get too high and not to get too low on this team. The offensive line, we've talked about that exhaustingly,
Mhm.
man. We don't quite know just how good that's going to be. Uh, have they found all of the solutions in this one off season, or is that still going to be a steady growth process? You and I both agree by D'Amico Ryan's 4th year, if this offensive line is not fixed for the future, then he's going to have some problems.
Mhm.
Or maybe I don't know. Would you put that more on Nick Caserio
Yeah, of course.
than D'Amico? Okay. Well, either way, as a staff, if by his 4th year
I get what you're saying.
we don't have the solutions, then it's going to be a little bit of an issue. But I'm going to try my best to just try to stay even keel, not to live and die on every loss. But it's hard, man. It's the NFL. That's why we love it.
No, I'm
Uh,
not. I'm gonna be ramped up 100% ready to go.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna feel like the world is falling down if we don't do stuff. But like you said, that's what's so great about this. But also, Nate, that just goes to show how much we care about this team. Like, yes,
Mhm.
being nonchalant, being, oh, I got to be professional in front of here and talk a certain way.
Yeah, I feel
No, they're watching me because I'm a fan.
yeah, yeah, of
And they
course.
themselves are fans. Real
Absolutely.
coverage from real fans, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna see a game and then come in front of this camera and be as monotone and professional as I possibly can. Hell
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you, big dog. And it's
No.
one of the reasons that you're great at what you
Well, the
do.
reason why radio is dying.
Yeah. No, it's one of the reasons you're great at what you do. You live and die with this team. That's the people who follow you. They love your passion for it, Brock. And listen, I'm right there with you, man. I try to stay even keel because
What's the point of being even killed though? Like, let's really talk about it
okay,
because
cool.
right?
Let's say they
Emotion,
lose week one.
emotion makes things so much better. Like it really
Of
does.
course, of course.
Right? Like, just think about because I think about it in a party sense, right? And I've had this and I've had this notion like if I'm in the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
am I gonna be nonchalant or am I gonna live and die every single play? No, I'm gonna live and die every single play because I'm
100%.
gonna remember this moment for the rest of my life. And I feel that way with only 18 games of the year. I only got 18 games to really be a fan.
Yeah.
Really be a fan. Be professional the rest of the 6 days, the 5 days. But when it comes to the
Yeah,
weekend, I am swarming.
of
I
course.
am a Houston Texans fan. And if you're not with Houston, what did Will Anderson Jr. say?
Mm.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, man. And listen, I don't think that makes you
Nah, nah,
non-professional.
nah, nah, nah.
I
I
don't think
think
it
that's
makes you
me.
non-professional. I
Yeah.
think it makes you
I just don't wanna be
you.
boring, bro.
No,
Oh, I hate that.
100%.
Oh, I
It's
hate
just
that.
it's just for me, and it's more so on the losses.
I'll give you that because
I'm
I'll
gonna
let a
try.
loss ruin my whole damn week. I
Yeah,
I don't even wanna go I
and,
don't even wanna talk to the
of
girlfriend
course,
about
and
that.
we always say, even in the victories, you don't wanna ignore what you wouldn't, ignore in defeat.
Yes, fair.
So, here on the Twin Toros, there's a couple of people who accused us of being panderers. I I don't know where they got that from. I think here on the Twin Toros, man, we're honest. We tell the truth about how we feel after a win,
What does
after a
pandering mean?
loss. And was that?
What does pandering mean?
Pandering means that we say what we think fans wanna hear even if we don't believe it, which
Oh
is
my god.
yeah, no. Yeah, that person doesn't listen to us anymore
There's
because
the
I
no,
blocked him on
now
everything.
now let me say this. There's a lot of people in radio who act exactly like that.
No,
Not
I
gonna
agree
call
with
them
you.
out. There's so many I'm not gonna get into it,
But you
but
know what they also do on radio, which is another reason I like to stay even keel? They will after a loss, they will overreact and panic and freak the F out, and I think a lot of times it's disingenuous. They're probably doing it I don't wanna say for
Well,
ratings, but if
that's that
people
pandering, right? That's that pandering that you're talking about.
possibly, yeah, that I think pandering can go either way. I think you can overreact to a loss and be mad to pander to those fans who are also
Mhm,
super angry. Um, and then, the next week, if it's a good win, then they're, "Oh, we're going straight to the Super Bowl." I don't like that, man. I like to try to keep the same energy. If you win and you have a good win, Imma give you credit where credit is due.
mhm,
I'm still gonna try to be critical of the things you need to do better just because I want this team to be the team we all want it to be,
mhm,
and that's a Super Bowl winner. So, even in the wins, I'm gonna be critical of some of the things they need to clean up. And the losses, Imma tell it like it is, but I'm also gonna find that silver lining and that bright spot that Houston Texans fans can hang on to for the following season. If the Texans get blown out by Los Angeles in week 1, which don't let why did I even put that out there? It's not gonna happen. But I'm just saying, if that happens, I'm not gonna sit here and start talking about firing D'Amico Ryans, fire Nick Caserio. Like, I'm not gonna overreact to that point. It's gonna be very disappointing, and we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk honestly about it. But I just try to, you know, when the time comes that I really feel like Nick Caserio or D'Amico Ryan should be fired, if that ever happens, then I will say it. I'm not gonna say it on an emotional
mhm.
reaction just from a bad
Yeah,
loss.
yeah, listen, if you're the fire guy, then I'm sorry, I don't know if this is the right sport for you.
Yeah.
Like, and this is when, like, and
Bad bad
I hate to
franchises do
say
that.
this, like, people like that, I don't think they've played professionals. Like, no, I'm sorry, not professional sport, any team sport.
Right.
And I'm not even talking about college. If you talk like that, I don't even think you played in high school. Hell, I don't
Yeah.
even think you played in the YMCA. If it's
100%.
immediately, right, one thing goes wrong, it's fire someone, or it's, "Oh, this wasn't what we thought it was."
Right.
Like, if you're like that, dude, then
Yeah.
I'm
And also
sorry.
the fans who want the coach to be as angry after a loss as they are. First of all, that's just not D'Amico Ryan's style. He's always gonna keep it even keel and smooth. Now, I think in the locker room, he's probably gonna tell the players what they need to hear, but he's not gonna get in the on the media and start blasting players. He's not gonna get out and start, having a cursing, swearing tirade like some
D'Amico
other
shows
coaches you see.
emotion, like, when he was complaining about the refs,
Yeah.
and he got in the refs, like, like, face and stuff, like, you saw the emotion there. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna do that in front of us, you know?
Yeah, he's not gonna get in front of the media and call out players who aren't doing their job. He's gonna talk to that player in the locker room. You know what I mean? And that's his style. And I think, listen, man, we can't argue that his style doesn't work because he was a successful defensive
DC.
coordinator in San Francisco, and he's had 2 back-to-back 10-win seasons.
No, no, no,
Picking
no. Let's add on. Back-to-back 10-win seasons, back-to-back division champion,
Yeah,
back-to-back dominant performances at home, and, like,
yeah, for
man,
sure.
I'm so excited for this season.
We're on the right path, man, and as disappointing
And
as
that's
last
what it
season was.
feels like, brother.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like, and I'm
How
so
many other teams
impatient.
can say that? Like,
I'm
just look at
so
our division.
impatient.
How many teams are really optimistic? I say the Titans are probably really optimistic about
Of
this season.
course, and I would say the Jaguars are too.
Yeah,
New head coach, a potentially transcendent player in Travis Hunter. Even though he's
yeah.
on the Jaguars, I'm still gonna say he has an opportunity to change this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you got at least 3 teams in the AFC thinking that they could be something.
Yeah.
So we'll find out soon. But
I
yeah,
just feel like
no,
Texans fans, we're blessed, man. Houston sports fans right now, we're blessed. We're in a really good spot. So,
we're blessed, but we deserve this, man. It
oh,
was
100%.
horrible the last 4 something years.
Ruben, real quick, I asked this question on my show last week. Who's gonna be the next Houston team to win a championship? Include the Cougars in that.
I'm not gonna include the Cougars in that.
Okay, professional sports team.
Professional sports team. That's a great one because if the Rockets do make a trade in the offseason, well, I'm not a trade guy, but I understand why you want to be a trade guy. They go get a Kevin Durant.
I want them to stay as is,
They
but go ahead.
they go get a Devin Booker or Giannis. Hey, they have an opportunity. I think the Astros are going to be in the postseason, but I think they're going to barely get there. They're a scrappy team this year.
Sure.
The dynasty's fallen, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
They gotta stop doing
But
that win one, lose one thing.
yeah, but
That's
once
weird.
they get into the postseason, we all
Yeah,
know what matters is experience.
yeah.
I mean, I could say right now, I would say the Houston Rockets, right?
So you
I
think the
would say
Rockets gonna win before the Texans?
I would say the Houston Rockets right now.
Okay.
I got to see this offensive line, and if week one, I see CJ Stroud only get sacked once or twice, but like they're like in different quarters, like one's in the first and one's in the third. I'm like, we're back,
What
baby.
about 0 sacks? 0
Look,
sacks.
Nick. Okay, if you get
What if
4
he's got, like, 0 sacks and only, like, 2 pressures? Like, what if this offensive line just balls the F out and makes us shut up all the criticism we've been giving all offseason?
Okay, so if the offensive line does that, that means CJ Stroud is gonna have time to operate. He's gonna have time to operate in a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan type of offense. It's
Mhm.
gonna get nasty.
And he's got weapons, bro.
If this offensive line protects CJ Stroud, it's gonna get real scary, and we're
Mm.
gonna start to really beat a lot of these teams. And
Giving me chills, bro, just thinking about it.
bec dude, 'cause we weren't dumb to think last year that this team could go to places where they've never gone before. They had the highest paid offensive line in the NFL. They had an offseason where they were the first team in NFL history to add a 1,000-yard rusher, a receiver, and a player with double-digit sacks. And you added two of those guys. It was Danico Autry also. The
Mhm.
excitement was there.
Mhm.
But then we learned early that the O-line was going to be the Achilles heel of this offense.
Yeah.
And we saw it week in, week out. If it's the opposite, and you see in the first 4 or 5 weeks, CJ Stroud barely touched, barely pressured. Oh my God. It's
Yeah.
the conversations, and this defense is what we think it's going to be, one of the best in the NFL.
Mm. On the reverse side of that, you're probably gonna wanna be a little patient if the offense isn't clicking right away because of the fact that and we talked about this several shows back, m as much as I don't agree with it, they decided, "Hey, we're gonna go with a rookie play caller again, a
Mhm.
guy who's never been an OC." So you might have to give him some time to cook. Cole
You
Popovich
saw how he
is
was at training camp?
yeah, I mean, look, man,
Ooh,
I'm
that got
optimistic.
me excited.
I'm optimistic.
Seeing
Don't
your
get me
OC
wrong.
take handoffs? Come on. Come
I'm
on.
optimistic, don't get me wrong, man, but that's why, like I said, if it doesn't look obviously, you don't week 1's not gonna look like, week 16, 17.
100%.
It's gonna be a process, man, but I this is why we love football, because of the fact
That's
that
why I
it's a
love you.
struggle, it's a battle, it's a war every week, and
And it's team, bro. Like you're with the boys. You're
yeah,
with
man,
the
for sure.
boys, which is why,
Mm,
you never call defeat. You play this game until the final whistle, until the fat lady sings. I love
absolutely, man.
I love
That's it's why
competition.
we love it. It's why we love it, man. I can't wait for the season to start, bro. What do we got next? Training camp?
Well, we have OTAs coming up. I think we're in the middle of OTAs, or they are coming up. And then I believe we're going to be on a short break for like a month and some change. And then it's training camp. And then it's preseason. And then it's week one. So it's going to be here soon.
Everybody's gotta be at OTAs. No more
Everyone,
Laramie Tunsil's.
I think everyone was at OTAs.
They did the rookie training camp, right? Recently? Or was everybody
Well,
there?
no, they did OTAs first. Remember?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
Because we
they
were
did
talking about
that.
how Laramie
Everyone
Tunsil
showed
would
up.
not have been there.
Yeah, Lermy wasn't at his commander's OTAs, but
Oh, man.
you get everyone here, training camp, dude. I'm
Mm.
excited.
Yeah, I think everybody will be there. I think everybody's locked in, dude. We talked about it last week, how CJ's not out doing
I love,
podcasts and stuff like
I
that.
love that.
Yeah,
I
I think
love
everybody's
that.
locked in, bro. I'm
Like,
looking forward to this season. I think the players understand as much as the fans do how important it is for the Texans to do something special this season. Because you got that window. You're getting ready to have to start paying some dudes. That means you're gonna have to draft better than you
mhm,
doing in free agency, and I
yeah,
think they're
taking
already
advantage
making
of
that
these rookie
decision.
contracts.
Yeah. So This is a big season, man, and Twin Toros is going to be there to cover the whole thing, man. I love it. I appreciate you. I appreciate ESPN Houston, man. I can't wait to keep doing this damn thing.
I can't wait. And we have a lot of big things coming. We have a lot of big things coming. Next week I will be at a Houston Texans season ticket member event. So we'll be getting exclusive content for that.
Yeah.
The watch parties are gonna be
Hey, make sure you send me some videos from that.
okay.
I'm gonna hook the Twin Toros up with a new intro. I think it's time.
I'll do something.
Yeah, hook it up.
Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of this episode. We broke down the schedule for the Houston Texans in 2025. That was Nick Stevenson, the president of Houston Sports. I am Ruben Calvillo. Once again, Nick, happy belated birthday.
Thank you, sir.
So happy to be doing this with you. Guys,
sir.
do us a favor. Have a real blessed rest of your day. We'll see you guys Monday or Tuesday.
Love y'all. Good night.